Yay.
If I were to ask you which is more dangerous between boxing and MMA, which one would you say would cause more harm? Well, I asked online with that survey, and most of you said boxing. Well, hopefully today my informative speech can inform you of how looks may be deceiving and how boxing is actually more dangerous than MMA. Well, we all grew up knowing that boxing was around, especially me sharing such a great name. Right? But as I grew up, I started like finding myself watching more and more MMA, more and more UFC, and I started to ask myself, why hasn't this been around for as long as boxing has? Well, as I started to do my own research, I found out that people were complaining that MMA was too gruesome and that there was a lot of misconceptions that they didn't understand. And a lot of the experiences that they have were inexperienced. So to get rid of some of that confusion, I'm gonna dive into the arts, the striking, and the danger of the sport. So to start off with, one of the arts is wrestling. That's one of the most popular arts. Um, they focus on really holding the position and trying to transition, whereas jiu-jitsu, another big major art, is their goal is to make their opponent tap out, as you see he's trying to do with his legs in a triangle submission. Well, you can see that with these arts, there's not a lot of striking, so it doesn't really cause a lot of harm, like a lot of serious damage at least, other than knowing that your opponent bested you or made you tap out or probably put you to sleep. Now that we addressed jiu-jitsu and wrestling, let's transition into actual striking. So, so with the striking, most of it is kicking and whatever they allow. To tie back into the grappling point, with MMA, you're allowed to strike in the grappling positions because you're allowed to strike in those positions to better transition yourself or to get into the position that you want to get into. Whether that's your opponent's too strong or is not allowing you into the position that you want to get into, so you can throw a strike to freeze them or to get them to think about something else. But with striking, the only thing that you can do is a 12-6 elbow, which is you just bring your elbow straight down, which is illegal, and you will get disqualified for that. So lastly, I'm gonna talk about the long-term effects and the actual damage that the sport brings into it. Where MMA, if an opponent here, like if he like falls after like getting hit or something, they're allowed to jump on him and finish the fight. That's like studies have shown that's a lot safer because you can get rid of you can get the match over with and you can save like long-term damage. Whereas boxing, the ref stops the fight and then he allows the fallen opponent to get back up. Like whether like the trauma he had was severe or not, he doesn't know. He lets him back up and then they continue the fight unless like he physically can't I guess continue the fight. Whereas MMA, you can see that he got hurt, he fell, and then if the ref didn't stop it, like it could have ended bad. That's how I know it was an actual TKO. So in a study done in Alberta, Canada, they done like a study for injury shown for MMA, and it did cause 10% more damage like overall throughout the body. But when you focus severely like on the head damage, boxing had 3% more brain injuries, and that's like a lot worse. For MMA, there's only been 4 deaths, like total amateur and professional, whereas boxing there's been 1,400 amateur and then 60 professionally, like on TV that people saw, like and paid money to go see. So that had long-term effects on the audience and the families of the fighters that were lost. So in conclusion, you can see where the caution comes looking at the statistics of deaths and the brain injuries, and then looking at it like MMA from a naked eye, you would think like this is obviously worse, you know. So you can see where the caution stuff started, but with the studies done and the actual, I guess, interest that MMA brings, it's not gonna go anywhere, and like it's only gonna be on the rise. How much time? Okay. And then I got a couple quick videos that I want to show you guys. So here, just to warn, it's a fight, and one of the guys is gonna get knocked out. Do I just continue this?
Yeah, maybe can you pull it up a little bit? I don't think, I think you have to go back into the actual. Is it launching? Maybe you can just copy it.
Okay.
The number one free poker app is giving you a chance to join me and Holly Holm for
So I'm
the
gonna try to narrate
dinner,
what's
a
happening
live
there
play
as
for
best
one
as I
poker
can.
match, and 2
The
tickets to
site
the
was
UFC.
only
To
13
download the
seconds.
WSOP free poker app right now, log in and you're in.
For the most highly anticipated of the featherweight division, made UFC. Jose Aldo.
Okay, so before this fight, there was a lot of back and forth going on where Connor, the guy in the green shorts as you saw, got in Jose Aldo's head. He was the champion here. He got in his head and he got him to fight aggressively.
McGregor. The most highly anticipated featherweight fight of all time. Connor looks extremely loose, and Aldo looks like he's feeling the pressure of this moment.
So you can see how they have like they're trying to gauge the distance. Nobody wants to attack before the other person. Although like you'll get your first hidden, it doesn't mean that it will be like significant. It doesn't mean that like you can throw the first punch, but you might end up getting knocked out. Like you'll see here.
Trunks for the southpaw, the notorious Conor McGregor. Black trunks for the
And
champion.
then
Jose
Connor
Aldo.
gets it.
Conor relaxed, smiling.
And then you see how the ref jumped in and then stopped the fight where boxing, he would have let them both up and then it would have continued the fight where Jose would have gotten even more damage from like more strikes. And then here. And then I got another video. It's
You're at 8 minutes, so you'll need to conclude.
okay. A lot of that was kind of setting up the video or just
Okay, go ahead, you're over time.
Okay. Thank you.
I can give you this.
Okay, yeah, it's for fun. Yeah, fight video.
Go ahead.
You can see kind of like the same thing, they're gauging distance and there was a lot that happened there, just like the first fight we did. Yeah, I guess a lot of things just happened there, but it's a hard one to me, and I like it.
Okay, who else we have still giving the speeches today? Okay, all right, so why don't you go ahead and get, or do you want to go? Who wants to go first?
You can go first.
Okay.
Can I go second? Can I go second? Yeah. Alright, thank you.
Okay, all right, so feedback, folks, that went first day, you want to give some feedback?
I said that you seem very interested in the topic and very knowledgeable about it.